Good morning. What a pity that the Norwegian football wasn't adequately covered by Betfair, because I sniffed out a nice play for you yesterday. But yet again, the Kongsvinger match not covered on Betfair. Let's take a look anyway at yesterday. The World Championship in Africa, I've given this a wide berth. It's not really set the world alight. It's just the 1-0 wins for 1.5 favourites. So the market's having trouble reading these matches as well, as you can tell here. No real accurate conclusions from the market makers. That suggests more than a 1-0 win. 1.5 does as well. So difficult. Espanyol against Sporting Gijón. This is the first of two legs. The away side getting the goal. Can't really give you a trading angle with this at all. Probably better in the second leg to have a trading angle. What we've seen in these playoffs, particularly in England, is that the side who are a goal down gets back on parity, even if they were 2 or 3-0 down. We've seen that quite a lot in the lower tier English playoffs. I wonder if that'll occur here. This is a Norwegian Obos League, and I picked out this Kongsvinger match as having potential. And we did get a profitable trading angle, but it was permanently suspended by Betfair, which is a real pity. 2-0 I thought was an excellent opening gambit to take on this Arlesund side. Very early in the match, 2-0 lead for the underdog, and we got the goal back before half-time. That would have instilled a change in the odds. You'd have got double figures about Kongsvinger. They've gone down to about 3s or 4s. So it would have been a nice trade throughout, really, but it's just the market wasn't open. Bryn and Asana, it's yet another 1-0 win for Bryn. So arguably you could have laid the draw second half and hoped that Bryn would do the scoring, but I did mention, I think in the research, possibility of backing 0-0 pre-match. Mjøndalen and Ranheim, goal fest as usual. Both teams to score, goals before half-time, etc., etc. Over 2.5 goals. Tick all the boxes it needs for the neutral player. When I talk about neutral, I mean a market where both teams are playing for you, such as both teams to score over 2.5 goals. Sogndal and Egersund, well, I did put up over 5.5 goals, given Egersund have had 4 of those matches away from home. They didn't disappoint on this occasion. They've had a couple of poor displays at home where they've only scored a single goal, but they're back in action. They do like to be away from home. Yes, I called it right insofar as I was expecting goals galore, but over 5.5 goals was a little bit too optimistic. But a good performance, and all of the others, no real strong angles there. Tennis yesterday, we actually got a profitable trade or two in the tennis yesterday. Delighted to have called the final correctly. First opening gambit. Don't forget, I said if it's a 5-setter, then take on the first player to reach 2-set lead. That would have been Zverev here. Now, actually, if you look at the third set, it was Alcaraz who should have won it. I've done this in the past, and this is something you can do with your football trading, tennis trading. Get involved before the set result is known. Anyone will imagine that this set is going to be won by Alcaraz, 5-2 up, with only one game to win. That's when you back Zverev at 5s, as I said, and Telegram. All he needs to do is hold his service game and then break. Hold your service game, break. He read the script perfectly. 5-5, that's when I got out. Without the set even being won by Zverev. Had you waited until he won the set, you'd have got those odds of 5 dropping down to odds on, or thereabouts. Superb odds move there. So don't forget, get involved before the set is finalised, even though it looks finalised, particularly when the service game is for the opponent. 3-5 looks a lot better for Zverev than 2-5, doesn't it? So that was a fabulous one. Then what we do next, because Zverev now is 2 sets up, we're going to be backing Alcaraz or laying Zverev 2 sets up and hoping that Alcaraz wins the next set, which indeed he did. I advise you to cash out at 3-0 up, just in case we've got another one of those famous comebacks. This was when I got out. So excellent move. 2 occasions. That's how I pick a final. The reason why I thought this was going to be a 5-setter, it's quite obvious in the rankings, the world top 4. So great play there. Let's have a look on to today. Absolutely nothing. Apart from the World Championship qualifiers, this is the calm before the storm. We've got the Euros beginning on Friday. So yet again, we've got trouble with trust issues with a lot of these sides. Mo Salah's boys, 1.75. Ghana, a bit more of a highly ranked side. And Algeria, one of the North African sides, should be competitive, but they've been pretty poor. Considering the kind of players they've got with Riyad Mahrez et al. Not exactly set the world alight, Algerians. So it's not a competition I like at all. And as you look through, the football is very, very quiet today. In fact, there's nothing occurring. Friendlies, internationals, well, you take your pick if you want to play or not. Got the Netherlands at least, 1.18 against Iceland, who kept England to the 1-0. Czech Republic, well, Turkey under-19s. That's about it. So no place for me today at all, really. If we look at the tennis, we're heading towards the grass court part of the season. And this is when we're going to get the big guns. They're all going to be playing in these warm-up tournaments. David Goffin, 1.5 favourites. Mannarino. Watch out for the locals as well. So look out for any Dutch flags. They could overperform in front of home support. We've got Stuttgart as well. So we've got some familiar names in Stuttgart. Hergesenbosch. That's the ladies. And Nottingham. So we'll have Nottingham, we'll have Queens, we'll have Eastbourne. There's old Heather, Guernsey's finest. Hilary Dart, 180. Katie Bolter. So getting the usual suspects out. I wonder if there'll be any plays today. Do read the previews, please. Your tennis24.com is rather generous today, offering all these previews. I would recommend that you read them, particularly if you want to play, just to see whether these players have come into this tournament with recent injuries, etc., or what their recent form has been. Now, this is grass. Of course, it's going to be completely different to clay, isn't it? So some players will really do well on grass court. I think the Brits would have a chance, wouldn't you? So some interesting tennis today. It is my day off today. I'll be looking to relax. There's no footy today. Tennis does interest, but I will have to use the previews and the rankings initially. Well, Rightover doesn't even have a rank, so that's not a good starting point. Goffin and Nadal, 109th against 73rd. This is down to injury, I would suspect, for David Goffin. They tend to start again. And another one, 52nd against 40th, that suggests it's going to be a tight match. This Draper has been underperforming recently as well, particularly on clay. He's had 3 consecutive defeats as well. So clay's not his best. But then you've got the grass court. Is he any better on grass? Well, we don't have form, unless it's last year, of course, or in the case of Draper, 2022, where he lost to Hitler Haircut and Cressy. So the recent form on grass is non-existent, which makes these matches a little more difficult to read. But I'll have a look if I'm up and about. Certainly no harm passing on. As you saw yesterday, get in, get out, particularly when the football's not of the highest standard or it's not being covered on Betfair, this tennis can provide us with some profits. Have a great day today. If I am on Telegram, I'll certainly pass on any plays for members of footballtradingprofits.com. Have a great day.